Hi, my name is Dayan Soliano and I am here to present about lung ventilation. So, first things first, what is lung ventilation? So, lung ventilation is a process of air flowing to the lungs during inspiration and out of the lungs during expiration. So, before we dive into the ins and outs of lung ventilation, we'll first have a quick skim through about the basic anatomy of the thorax or the chest. So first things first that we have here is the trachea here. So trachea is the tube with incomplete rings of cartilage that carries air to lungs. It's lined with cells making mucus and cells with cilia to move the mucus away. Next is the bronchioles that carry air to the alveoli, the ribs, which basically protects our lungs, and the diaphragm. It is a sheet of muscle which is domed. It helps make breathing movements and separates thorax from the abdomen. Then we have here the bronchus, which is a large airway that leads from the trachea to the lungs. And finally, we have here the lungs. This is the lungs is the reason why we are breathing, or it's the organ that allows us to breathe. Now let's move on to the main topic of the presentation, which is the lung ventilation. So lung ventilation is the term that we use for breathing. Now, inhalation means breathing in, and exhalation means breathing out. So, when it comes to breathing, it just happens naturally, right? It's automatic. We don't have to force the air out of our lungs, and we don't have to suck in air into our lung. But do you ever wonder how does breathing works? So breathing works by changing the air pressure in our air pressure into our thorax. So if you lower the air pressure, it will make it will make the air want to move in to equal the pressure. And if you increase the pressure, it will force the air out. It will force the air out automatically. So how do we change the pressure? We just have to change the volume. So when we change the volume in our thorax, it will either uh, decrease the pressure or increase the pressure. So in this next part, this is where we're gonna figure out or see the step by step changes in our body when we breathe in and we breathe out. So first is the breathing in. So number one, first step. So when we breathe in, again, when we breathe in, our intercostal muscles. I'm just gonna write here intercostal muscles will contract, and it will number two pull it will pull our rib cage up and out. So rib cage gets pulled up and out. So now we can see here that the diaphragm that was once domed, it fell and it contracted. And after that, we can see that the chest volume has gotten bigger. So this means that uh, the So the volume when we breathe in is much bigger, and it has lower air pressure. And then the air gets drawn in to equalize the pressure. All right. So when it comes to breathing out, so breathing out is the opposite of breathing in. So when we breathe out, our uh, our muscles becomes relaxed. Our intercostal muscles becomes relaxed. Our rib cage becomes relaxed as well, and our diaphragm goes back to normal. And the volume inside our chest is much smaller. Therefore, the air pressure increases, and that forces air out of our body. So that is my complete understanding of the lung ventilation. Again, thank you for listening, and God bless.